Greetings and welcome to my channel. This is Sorcerer Tal. You can also find me on Facebook in the Sorcerers Guild. Today on Sorcerer's Shadow Volume 1, we are going to be discussing the essay entitled A Spirit Summoning Spell. Now, as per usual, I will put a link to the Google Docs copy of the essay in the description portion of this post, as well as a link to the where you can purchase a copy of the Sorcerer's Shadow Volume 1 on Amazon, should you so choose. Okay, so this essay focuses on evocation as opposed to invocation, because I feel it is important to learn evocation first before you attempt any invocation, which is summoning a spirit into the body, as opposed to evocation, where you are calling a spirit into a circle or mirror or something of that nature. Okay, so the first thing to do when you are attempting to summon any spirit is to do the research. This is part of the form. A summoning spell functions on form, charge, intent, containment, release. What I mean by that is you create a sigil, or you don't create a sigil, you do the research and you discover the spirit's sigil. You want to discover as much as you can about what the spirit is supposed to look like and what its habits are, what it likes, what kind of offerings it is most likely to accept, what kind of things it can do for you. You wouldn't want to summon a spirit of flowers and ask it to help you find jewels deep within the earth, yeah? Not really its specialty. You'd want to find a gnome. You need to know what type of spirit you are looking for. So that's in the research, and that gives you your form. And then after you have done your research, you then gather up all the materials that you are going to need to do the summoning. Now, the method we are using today in this demonstration is a very early method. It's very simple. We are simply going to be drawing a sigil, lighting a candle, and burning some incense that I know are pleasing to the spirit. And then we will be giving it its we will then be doing the intent. I'm sorry, I got that a little bit backwards. So we will be, because the intent is part of the summoning. You draw the sigil, and that gives it the form, and then you charge it by speaking its name into the sigil. Sometimes you need to repeat the name over and over, and then you start saying, "Come to me," and that is your intent part. And then we have the containment, when there's a circle that the spirit is summoned in, or the sigil. We are going to be using a summoning square inside of a mirror, but whatever you're using, the concept is the same. After the containment, that is when you speak with the spirit and have the actual interaction, telling the spirit what it is that you want, it responding, you giving it the offering, and then releasing it. I prefer myself to use leave to depart, as we have discussed in previous videos in this series. But you can also banish if you so choose. The spirit we're going to be working with is AsfArAs. There is no need to banish her. If you really feel creeped out by the idea of the guild egregore snake hanging out in your house, you can banish if you need. She's not going to be harmed by it, but she might be less likely to return to you in the future. Because, well, personally, I find it rude to banish, and I created her, so she probably has similar feelings on the matter. Okay, so let's go over a bit about seeing the spirit. Yeah, we've covered the basics of how the spell is going to go, but how do you know the spirit's there? Especially if this is the first time you've ever summoned a spirit. Okay, this is not very likely to result in a physical manifestation. She is not likely to rise up out of the smoke and greet you as you are chanting her name. She is going to, perhaps this first time, you're just going to you're going to sense a change in atmosphere. When I was very young and I first started working with spirits, the first thing I noticed was this kind of like buzzing in my ears that slowly came out of my ears and just became thoughts in my head that I could feel were not mine. In a previous video, I talked about speaking with yourself, talking to your shadow. That is how, if you do that, exercise, that gives you a good idea of what your own mind sounds like. And then it is easier to recognize an alien thought. So you may want to check out that video along with this process and the idea of speaking to yourself, so that you know when it is your voice that is speaking to you as opposed to someone else's. But this first time you might just get a bit of a buzzing in the ears, a change in the atmosphere. It'll feel like crackling, or perhaps the atmosphere will grow colder or warmer. Our minds tend to respond differently to the presence at first. And you just want to get more used to the idea. And the more you get used to the idea, the more you get used to interacting with spirits, the more they're likely to manifest in a form that is more intense or more visual. Another video that you might want to look at in this process is seeing with your eyes open. In my guided meditation tour, I'll leave a video, or guided meditation playlist. I'll leave a link to that here as well, if you want to look over that. And that helps with the idea of learning to see spirits while your eyes are open. Okay, so let's see. What else do we need to discuss? We discussed research. The places for research. You can go and you can look up the spirits in books. I also recommend, however, going into the guild and other places like that you feel are reputable, and asking about the spirit and other people that have worked with the spirit and what they have experienced. Even if it turns out that this being is a shared tulpa of some kind, other people's experiences with it can inform you as to what you will experience when summoning this being. Okay, so as I said, in this video we will be summoning the guild egregore, AsfArAs. This is a picture of her here. Have I got that upside right? Sorry, it's in the dark. I couldn't quite see. So this is a picture of her here. I will try and put a colored copy of it. This was drawn by our admin, Travis Rasmussen, in the contest we had recently to make images of AsfArAs. So, as I said, AsfArAs is the guild egregore, and she was created with the intent of protecting the guild and its members, but as well she was created with the intent to facilitate learning within the guild. So in this spell, I will be summoning her to help facilitate learning of guild members and all those who have viewed this video and then attempt to summon her. She will make herself available to you, as long as you treat her with respect. So, there's a few things I want to go over before we get started. One is, there is this idea in the occult community in some places, and especially in Hollywood and the movies, that you have to draw your square perfectly, or your seals, and then if there's one little mistake in how you've drawn it, the spirit will break forth from the seal and tear you to ribbons. Well, first of all, no matter how deeply you have summoned AsfArAs, no matter how well she manifests, she's not going to attack you. She is there to protect you. But it's not true at all, okay? I am no artist. When I draw my squares, my circles, they are not perfect. But if they need to contain a spirit, they are able to do so. And this also will go for the mouse that you will be drawing in if you copy this, if you go through this ritual. It doesn't matter how well you draw. Yeah, it could be a little squiggly line. You'll see. I am not a very good artist myself. So, don't worry about what the mouse looks like. As long as you know it's a mouse, AsfArAs knows it's a mouse, you're good. Okay, see, is there anything else I want to cover here? We got the, we talked about the colors. Or no, we haven't talked about the colors yet. That's what we haven't talked about. So, there's one more thing here. AsfArAs, a lot of times when you're working with a spirit, one of the things that you will find out is that they have colors they prefer. AsfArAs' primary color is purple. If you can't find purple, you draw the sigil in red and a blue candle, or a red candle and a blue sigil, or both red, both blue. If those are for some reason completely unavailable to you, use what you've got, okay? AsfArAs is a very understanding spirit. She's not going to refuse to come simply because you don't have the right colors. In fact, that's rarely going to be the break point, yeah? If you can't find the colors for the spirit, go ahead and try anyways, as long as you don't have craziness, I suppose. If you can't find the colors, I suggest go with white for the candle and just a plain black for the sigil. Okay, so I think that is all that we needed to cover. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started here. First we will light the candle. And while it's burning into place, deeper into gnosis. And then you use incense that the spirit you're working with prefers. In this case, there are 2 incense that you can use: dragon's blood incense or Nag Champa, which is actually also known as snake flower. People believe that the flower smelled so sweet that the snakes would wrap their tails around the stems at night. Okay. The type of square that I use is known as a spirit summoning square, and it is a square one way and another one over top of it going the other. And this creates essentially an open chaos star. Rather than spreading out, it creates an opening in the center in which a spirit can be contained. And now we draw the sigil, remembering to take the energy from the heart chakra down the shoulder, down the wrist, fingertips, and into the hand. AsfArAs, 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 AsfArAs. Come to me, AsfArAs, 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 AsfArAs. Come to me, AsfArAs, AsfArAs, AsfArAs. Come to me, AsfArAs, AsfArAs, AsfArAs. Come to me, AsfArAs. Greetings, AsfArAs. I have called you so that you may work with the members of the guild and make yourself available to all who have viewed this video. Look into the lens, AsfArAs, and see those who may summon you. For this task, I offer you a mouse and more to come. Get here in the light a little. Can you see me still? Okay, I gotta get the mouse is flowing again. I give to you this mouse, drawn with love and intent. Hail AsfArAs, protector of the guild and facilitator of learning. Enjoy this mouse and more to come. In the name of AsfArAs. And now that you have your task and have been given your mouse, my beloved AsfArAs, Look once more into the camera. And I give you leave to depart. Okay, so that's a very basic summoning spell. Like I said, we're not looking for any manifestations. You may have noticed at least the change in my voice when I felt AsfArAs come here. There was a building up of energy, and you could actually feel a bit of an intensity, and my body began to sweat. And that was part of the intent. That was part of me feeling her coming here. And I did see her in my mind's eye to some extent, but I was more focusing on her getting towards the camera rather than to me. So I didn't get as full a visualization as I will get sometimes. But I do feel the spell was definitely a success. And as I said, you are more than welcome to work with AsfArAs from this point forward. You will simply work on this one, and she may offer a more complex ritual to you as time goes by, and may ask for more intricate drawings depending on your abilities with drawing, but that is the basic spell. Thank you once again for joining us. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please take the opportunity to do so now. And don't forget to join us next time, where the next video on this series will actually be on... I believe the next video is actually going to be the one on soul shifting and wearable tulpas, which I have mentioned quite a bit in the guild. I do have one video on that already, but I know a lot of you are greatly anticipating the next one. Anyways, bright blessings and an interesting fate. This has been Sorcerer Tal.